you've interviewed just about everybody, I imagine, at this point. Who are some of your favorites that really stand out? Maybe a particular interview or a guy you just like having come back, like The Miz?
I enjoy the repertoire or the rapport, I should say, that The Miz and I have. We can never quite get on the same page.
It's great, though. The banter's,
Yeah. We always end up.
He's always this close to walking.
Right, which I like. But I actually just very recently on the podcast did an interview with Baron Corbin that I really, really enjoyed. I've done a couple interviews with Daniel Bryan that I've really, really enjoyed. Adam Cole from NXT is somebody that I love having on the podcast. I had Jeff Jarrett on a little while back, and I thought he was absolutely phenomenal, and we kind of went over in depth his entire first WWE run and in detail, and it was just awesome. So guys like that have all been really pretty spectacular. I did, one of the ones that surprised me was, luckily before he passed, I did an interview with the Ultimate Warrior that was about, I don't know, it ended up being about 11 minutes, but it was at one of the video game things, and I found out about it at the last minute. I knew it was in New York, and I was like, oh my God, but it was that day. It was that afternoon. So I'm with my friend Roland, who works at Sirius as a talent booker, and I'm like, Roland, can you find out who the publicist is that's running this thing? Let's go down there. Let's get an interview. Let's see what we could do. Let's get there. And so he ended up making some calls. I was sending some emails to people that I knew, and we found out, okay, yeah, come on down. You can interview the video game creator or whatever. I was like, whatever, just to get in the door. Let's do it.
Right.
And so we got in there, and the Warrior was there, and he really wasn't doing interviews. And I was like, look, I will plug whatever game you want me to plug, wherever you want me to plug it. I'll do it on the radio. Whatever you need, you will get. I will make sure your information gets out there. I just need 15 seconds with the Ultimate Warrior. All I want to do is ask him what's the haps. I just need his reaction. I swear to God, that's the only question. Hey, what's the haps? And that's it. All right, let me talk to. Okay, all right, you can go and you can ask him one question. And I go, great, okay, fabulous. And I went in and I asked him, what's the haps? And he was kind of annoyed, which is okay. I don't mind people being annoyed. And I was like,
he was annoyed at me several times. So.
Right. And we had this quick back and forth, but I looked around and nobody was rapping me. There was nobody there giving me a rap sign or anything. So I just kind of started throwing questions at him. And we ended up having this great conversation for 10 to 12 minutes before I was like, okay, like this was supposed to be 15 seconds and we've now gone 10 to 12 minutes. And I actually really enjoyed the conversation. I thanked him. He thanked me, the whole thing. And that was like, I don't know. That was probably, May, maybe. I think it was right around the beginning of the summer. That August, the video game company had a media event around SummerSlam that I went to, and one of the things you could do was meet the Ultimate Warrior. They let the press meet the Ultimate Warrior, and I'd gotten my interview all those months before. It was, just 10 to 12 minutes with the Warrior. I thought that was cool. And I was with my wife, and I was like, Jess, let's get online to meet the Warrior. And it was really, I had already had my interaction with him, but I thought it would be funny to have a picture of my wife and the Ultimate Warrior together. I was like, it'd be great.
Yeah.
And so we wait on this line, and again, I haven't spoken to him, and I spoke to him for 10 to 12 minutes months ago, and that's it. That's the only interaction we've ever had, and that's it. And so we're waiting on this line. He's taking pictures. You've heard all these things about the Warrior, especially at that time. Not easy to deal with, this and that. Mm-hmm. And so the line comes up, and I go, hello, as if it's the first time we're meeting, because I don't want to embarrass him and go like, hey, remember me?
Yeah, right.
And he looks at me and he goes, hey, what's the haps? And I was like, oh my God. And he was like, I didn't know what that was, but my daughter told me and it was great. Bob, how are you, Bob? And I was like, the interview along with that interaction is really one of my favorite things that has ever happened around the podcast. I mean, I think, for a lot of people, it was just like, cool, a 10-minute interview with the Warrior, but all things considered and, where they came from and everything, that's probably my favorite interaction.